All right. Thank you guys. All right. Sorry about that. I thought I had everything set up, but now it looks like I'm getting audio. One of the wonderful things about doing things live. If you guys can just give me a little shout out at the in the chat room if sound's coming through now. All right. Well, I'm gonna assume that the sound is coming through. Okay. Thanks, guys. Sorry about that. I got my new little toy here, and I forgot to change my my settings in through my my encoder program. All right. So the question of the week this week is: what is your favorite project that you look forward to every year? So something that you've done several seasons in a row, maybe a certain season set that comes out, or a certain gaming event that you go to. That's what we'll be talking about this week. All right. Okay. So yes, still getting some comments about the sound. Sorry about that, guys. One of those things when you're launching the show, just a couple of minutes before you go live. Comment about my board game breakfast video. Thank you, John McGinnis, for that comment. That was a lot of fun to do. Anybody that hasn't seen it, I have a sort of recurring segment on the Dice Towers board game breakfast called the AFR 2-minute drill. And this past one, I decided to do sort of a funny skit that trying to get people to play sports board games. And I have gotten some good comments, some feedback on that. So thank you, John, for that. That was a lot of fun to do, and hopefully it'll get a few people interested in playing some sports games. All right. So first off, the question of the week: favorite seasons or projects that you look forward to every year. So last year, for the first time, I did a season run through with the fictional Football America set for second season football, and it's something I sort of always wanted to do, just never dove into it. And last year I dove into fan of it, so I was really excited to see the new season this year, and I actually got to have a sneak peek at the upcoming set. And then also Keith customizes one of the teams for me, so it's from Boston, so he moves the Philadelphia team to the Boston team. And the reason why I chose Philadelphia last year is that they signed a long-time Football America mainstay, Rondé Lincoln, who was just a workhorse running back, and he finally became a free agent, went to a new team. So I thought that was a good point to jump in to my series, or to that series set, and I managed to bring Boston all the way to a championship game, which I broadcast live here on my channel, and unfortunately they did fall short. So I was definitely looking forward to that this year. Oh, let me clean up my tabletop a little bit. All right, so let's see some comments here. Jim Superint is here. Jim, welcome. Let's see. I've got more projects than are healthy. Oh, come on. No such thing as that, Jim. He does a solo fantasy draft dynasty league with Stratomatic. Oh, very interesting. Jim, if you can put some comments how exactly that works. Is it card sets available from every season that you draft, or is it only certain seasons available? That sounds pretty interesting. Glenn Peru says that he loves the Scram series. Scram is another set from Play.com. It's their fictional race car set for their red, white, and blue stock car racing game. That is definitely a lot of fun. That's something I've actually played every fictional season of that's been available. So also something that I look forward to. Let's see. John says he plans on playing the old Avalon Hill game Decathlon during the Olympics next month. John, yeah, I think you mentioned that. You left a comment about that on one of my shows. That definitely sounds very interesting. If you get a chance, I'd be interested to see some pictures of that. If you could shoot me an email, and I'll put some pictures of that up on the show. That looks pretty interesting. Or if you know a link to a website that has some pictures of it, we'll put that up on the show. Let's see. And then Glenn again says all of the 70s Yankee seasons and different games. Yeah, it's like a story unfolding, definitely. So one of my favorite books that I ever read was about the the Bronx Zoo. And of course the name of the book is eluding me now. They made a mini series about it where it talks about the Yankees, and it also talks about the Summer of Sam killers, the big power outage that happened that year. The Bronx is burning. That's it. That was gonna bug me. And ESPN actually did that as a mini series, and it was really well. A lot of really good actors in there, and definitely a lot of interesting personalities on that late 70s Yankees team that was the boss's really first foray into just delving into free agency and making his mark on the team. And I don't know if anybody has seen it. Somebody put a new set of rules out specifically for those late 70s Yankees playing with History Maker Baseball from Play.com. And where you, instead of the normal chemistry chart, you actually use this chart so we can have a bunch of different things happen if Reggie's not in the cleanup spot, and then different things that can happen. Billy Martin has different abilities. He can use unlimited manager cards during the game. I haven't actually got a chance to play it. I don't think that I have a Billy Martin era Yankees card set for History Maker Baseball, but maybe I'll have to pick one of those up and give that a try. It seemed pretty interesting, and definitely a neat way to use the History Maker Baseball chemistry rules. Let's see, a couple other comments coming in. Where are we at? Yes, the Billy Martin years. Okay, so Jim is giving us some comments about that Stratomatic league that he's in. 2003 right up to now, along with the Hall of Fame and the Baseball Hero set. Oh, interesting. Okay. That sounds really neat, Jim. All right. The Dodgers, of course, in the 70s were also an interesting team. Got some comments, people saying that, let's see, Glenn Prue did the 74 Yanks with History Maker Baseball. Interesting. How did they do in that playthrough, Glenn? Let me know in your comments. And then somebody just left a comment that Billy Martin's special ability is dirt kicking. Yes, he was definitely quite a character. It was sort of sad the way things ended for Billy, but I guess now we can enjoy the history and memories of him as a manager. Oh boy, yeah. So Glenn Peru is leaving a bunch of comments of playthroughs that he's done with the 70s era Yankees with different game systems with Inside Pitch, History Maker Baseball, Payoff Pitch, APBA. Very cool. Always like to see that. It's a great way to get a bunch of different games on your table for sure. Keep things fresh. Let's see. And then he just left a comment in his 74 Yanks with History Maker Baseball. They came in third place. So. All right. So I wanted to give you guys just a quick little sneak peek. I'm going to have a very special live show on August 8th. So talk about things that I look forward to. So the past, I want to say 3 years, with the second season pro set that comes out from Play.com, Keith has included a college all-star team, which is... It's a team made up of all the current year's top draft picks put onto a squad and rated for how they should do in the upcoming season. So I actually got to play the very first college all-star game, and It took place in 2013, I want to say, at the World Board Gaming Championships. And this year, I'm going to do a show live, and Keith is going to join me live to play that game again. So I will be coaching the College All-Stars, and Keith is going to be coaching the Denver Broncos. And just for the occasion, Al Wilson over at Hands On Games designed a special field for me. And so I just wanted to give you guys just a sneak peek at that. So this is what the field is going to look like. He put a nice little AFR logo and Play.com logo on the field for the game. So I'm looking forward to that. And again, that's going to take place on August 8th. And that's actually where I'm going to be doing the giveaway for my second season version that I have from Replay Games. So you guys are getting a heads up on that. And what's going to happen is you're going to need to be watching that video live, and at some point during the game, we're going to give that away. So looking forward to that. And hopefully everyone here is going to be able to join me. Again, that's going to be on August 8th. So let me know in the comments if you guys have any other season projects that you look forward to. And in the meantime, I'm going to move on to my game of the week. And so like I said, I got a sneak peek preview of the upcoming Football America set. And so I thought that I would kick off my season by having or at least my returning champs trying to defend their championship. And they opened up their season at home against the newly relocated St. Louis team, which last year was the Los Angeles team. And unfortunately for Golden Bay, they did not fare well in the offseason, and their team has sort of aged very quickly, and they did not stand a chance. So I just finished up the game right before I came on live here, which one of the reasons I had a little technical snafu. And so the final of the game was 31-20 St. Louis, but it wasn't even really that close. Golden Bay had 2 late touchdowns. They actually had a recovered onside kick. But this was a game that was all St. Louis, and they definitely have a really strong team. Anybody that's a fictional football player fanatic, this is a really cool set to jump into. And one of the really great things about this set that Keith really hasn't advertised on his site is that these now have finder ratings right on the cards. And so last year he introduced the generic finder ratings so that you could go through and create your own, but now he has them right on the cards. And let's see, if I had been prepared, I would have had that up on my screen. Here I can show you guys. So if you're familiar with the second season sets, you know that the pro ones have the user ratings or the finder ratings made on the cards, and now finally the fictional ones do. So if you just want to coach one team and let the AI completely run the other team, now you can. So that made this game really fly by really quick. I think I played this game in maybe about an hour and 20 minutes, and it was jumping back and forth with a bunch of other things today. So that's how I kicked off my season. The Boston Minutemen will kick off their season sometime over the weekend. And what I'm planning on doing is on these Monday night shows, if it's a really exciting game, I'm going to wait and I'll play out the last few plays of the fourth quarter right here live on my Monday night show. Just show you guys how that game goes and sort of get all the fans involved in the show. And I'm going to plan on doing that every week of the season here. I run a 14 game season with these fictional sets. That seems to work really well. And hopefully I'll manage to get Boston back into the playoffs, and we'll be able to follow along through the whole season, their ups and downs. All right, so let's catch back up on the comments. Let's see. Glenn's thanking me for my reviews on Roller Rumble and Face to the Mat. You're welcome. Definitely a lot of great games out there, and of course now the problem is finding time to play them all. I know that there's several games that I'd love to play more. It's just finding the time for it. Definitely. So let's see. The Finder ratings on the fictional cards are really fantastic. As soon as those generic Finder ratings were released last year, I went through all of the fictional cards and put them on myself. So I was really excited to see that on the cards this year, and I wanted to make sure that I shared that with everybody. So hopefully, if anybody has been sort of hesitant to jump into the fictional sets, maybe that'll be the thing that gets you into them. Let's see. Jim left a comment that he wished that Stratomatic had fictional cards. Definitely. That I have to say, especially with limited time, it's really fun to jump into a fictional season and sort of create your own history on your tabletop. Sometimes doing replays of seasons is fun too, but I've found that I get the most enjoyment out of playing these fictional seasons. It sort of releases you from the constraints of when you're playing through a game and you're thinking, and you have to think in your head like, oh, well, this player would never do that, or they wouldn't use this player in this situation. If you're playing a fictional set, you can really just kind of sit back and enjoy the game. Let's see. Any news on the History Maker Golf? I don't have any new updates on that to share with anybody, but I can tell you that there will be another update in the upcoming Play.com newsletter that comes out the last Monday of every month. So you guys can stay tuned for that. If you haven't signed up for the Play.com newsletter, you can just go to their site, check on the newsletter link, sign up for that. So you won't miss out on any of the information. Yeah, that I have to say, the History Maker Golf game has definitely built a lot of momentum on the forums, and a lot of people are looking forward to that. And it's going to be really interesting to see if Keith is able to pull off sort of the holy grail of golf games and having it both be statistically accurate but also quick playing. So you can actually get through a full tournament with a full, complement of players, in a reasonable amount of time. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more of that game and being able to share information with you, and then of course getting a review out of that game. And I intend to do a full playthrough at some point of a golf tournament with that. Let's see. Somebody just said that Keith is evil. His games are so good that yes, it's very true. So going along with what I was saying about fictional sets, what I really love about the Play.com games is I feel like when you're playing them, that it's telling you a story with the results, and it's really great. The players, especially with the new games that he's come out with, the baseball games and the soccer games, the players aren't just a series of numbers. They actually have qualities to them, so it makes them feel more human. But you still get some good, solid statistical results from them. So I can never say enough good things about Play.com and the customer service that Keith provides us. Let's see. What else we got going on? Baseball Demos. Oh, Dave from Baseball Demos is here. He just received second season football. All right, and he's up to game number 25 of his 1987 Braves playthrough. Dave, I have to say that I'm really jealous. That's something I want to do at some point. That's definitely on my bucket list, is to completely play through a professional baseball season with one team. And it'd be great to do something from my youth. At some point, I will play through the 1990 Cincinnati Reds season, see if I can recreate their wire-to-wire division win and then World Series win over the Oakland A's. That's also on my bucket list. Let's see. What else we got going? Bob Hansen asks if he's looking for playtesters for History Maker Golf. I believe at this point that he has all the playtesters for the game that he needs. It's definitely something you could shoot him an email. I'm not sure exactly how his process works with picking out playtesters. As somebody that covers the games for the media, I don't get too much background information on them, but I'll share with you what I can, certainly, and as I get more information on the game that I'm allowed to release, I certainly will. But I don't know how the beta testing process is going on that. Although he's told me that everything that he's got for feedback so far has been great, and every time he makes a new revision to the game, it just keeps getting better and better. So just whets my appetite more. But I do know that there will be a good update in the newsletter this month. Let's see. He said he might have a beta of the History Maker Golf at the Jersey get-together. Glenn Prue just shared that. Oh, that would be fantastic. I am tentatively planning on being at the New Jersey get-together in September for the next annual Fall Classic pre-play. And I know that the last get-together that Keith had in Phoenix, that he had a prototype of the golf game there that he got to show off, so that would be something great, and hopefully we'll have a more firm update on where the game is at that point, because that's actually going to be pretty close to when he wanted to release the game in September. Let's see, Matt Dante just asked, is anyone aware of any tabletop cycling games? Let's see. I know that there is there's a British website. I want to say, Tabletop Sports. That has just a bunch of different little games from all over the place. There's like volleyball, hockey. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, feel free to chime in the chat. And of course, now the guys that runs it, his name is eluding me. Let's see if I can find it. But yes, there are. There's no. None of the big companies have released a tabletop cycling game, but I know there is some out there. If I find that, I'll put a link in the show notes below for what that game is. Let's see. Oh, there's a Chris Sabo shout out in the comments. Thanks, Glenn. Yeah, so I actually had a poster of Chris Sabo in my room when I was just a wee 15-year-old lad, and I was one of maybe 3 kids in my entire high school that were rooting for the Reds that year. So that made it even sweeter when they swept Oakland in the World Series. Let's see. And Glenn just said that the get together in New Jersey is just 10 miles from his house. All right, well, Glenn, I'll look forward to meeting you there at the New Jersey get together. Then Jim just said to have him come to Atlanta. Yeah, so Jim hasn't set any schedule for next year. I'm not sure when he's going to do that, but Atlanta certainly might be in the cards. For one of his get-togethers. I know he usually tries to do places that are not quite large cities, not like right in a large city. They tend to be, in sort of suburbs or somewhere in between larger cities, but definitely Atlanta would be a good location. Let's see. Oh, there we go. All right. So Everett Hathaway just came to the rescue. It's sportsreplays.net. Is that site that I was trying to think of that has all the various sort of smaller sports sim games out there, and that's definitely the site that that has the cycling game that I was thinking of, as well as several others. There's cricket on there. Like I said, there's beach volleyball, several different Olympics, decathlon ones. And, so there we go. Sportsreplays.net is the site you should check out for that. All right, let's see. And then Jim asked if I've played a horse racing game. So I have looked at Top of the Stretch, which I believe is probably one of the more well-known horse racing games out there. I read through it. I didn't actually get to play it. Horse racing is one of those games, or just one of those topics that doesn't really interest me too much. But a lot of people swear by that game. Actually, Ron Empsch just did a YouTube video where he ran through an entire game. So if you just go to YouTube and search for Top of the Stretch, you'll be able to see a full playthrough of that game. You can check it out, and it's a very reasonable game to pick up. I think you can get the base game plus any season that's available for maybe like $8. You can get it as a PDF download, so you can just print out what you want. And play from there. But yeah, definitely check out Top of the Stretch. Let's see. All right. So, that was actually a very quick half hour. If you guys have any other comments on season projects that you look forward to getting to, let me know in the comments there, or any other last minute questions. Otherwise, I'll start to sign off. Stay tuned for the news tomorrow night. There will be no live show next Monday. I'm going to be traveling and won't be back until Tuesday, so there will be news next week as well as tomorrow, but just no live show next Monday. So, all right. Well, guys, thanks for stopping by. Always a good, lively discussion here in the live shows. Sorry about the little audio snafu at the beginning of the show. Thanks for the the heads up in the comments. And all right. And yes, if you haven't had a chance, check out the Dice Towers YouTube channel. Their latest board game breakfast episode that just went out this morning has the AFR 2-minute drill in it. Oh, all right. Well, guys, thanks again for stopping by. My name's Steve, and until next time, get out there, have fun, play games, and I'll see you after further review. Have a good night, guys.